First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. But tonight we start Week 14 of the NFL season with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Detroit Lions. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The drive starts with a run by Perkins. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. You talk about this Lions defense. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now third down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys? Coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. This defense for the Lions very strong in that victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Hey, middle.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. That is caught with Sean Bateman. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First down. First and goal, Baltimore.
Hey, Alpha, what?
First and goal, Perkins. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
From the gun, Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball into the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
You change it. Come on. 180. You ready to speed? You ready to speed?
Third and goal, Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. Looking to put a drive together. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And able to get this one across the 45 before it's brought down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed. They really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing in this game.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
19 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with one after catching. Only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle on a hold on that quarter.
Yeah, exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him off the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact and he'll go deep.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. McCord. That's complete to Palmer. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That is caught. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams marching right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone. They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Man, and he hits it in stride. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they've always wanted to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Trey Palmer from a yard out. And the Lions take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And we are tied at 7.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that will bring up second down. These two teams all tied after one. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. They go play action with Jackson. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as he's up to the 47.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
The give, Perkins running left. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 44.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play, because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Now it's Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
A 5-yard gain on the play. First down, Baltimore.
They run the counter. Barnes. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there, because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter or misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Early down stunts to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Play action. Now Jackson. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
They go play action now. Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
Touchdown, Baltimore.
A great effort there. With touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
14, Lions 7. Tyler Luke to kick off for Baltimore.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one. But now playing here on Thursday night, do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. McCord. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Lions at 7-5 now in the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Off play action. McCord. That is caught by Bryant. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Operating from the gun. McCord able to find the open man. That's complete. And finally down it goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Very important 3rd down conversion right there because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
And he takes this one in for the Lions. Touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, caught at the 21. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with 40 seconds to go, that's, you'd think, time enough to try to mount a drive should they decide to do so. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Ravens first down.
Throwing is Jackson. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll just get rid of it.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Now a 2nd and 10.
13, 20.
Here's Jackson to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action. It's Jackson. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
A gain of 12. First down, Ravens.
Jackson from the shotgun. That one out wide and intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Jackson's pass intercepted. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Ready up.
Throwing to start the drive. McCord. And that's caught by the tight end, Bryant. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Operating from the gun. McCord. And in for the Lions touchdown. Harrison Bryant in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14.
Ravens 14. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
So time it up for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. And that's going to be incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs. Skirts by him at the 35. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And the Lions first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Counter play. Here's Gibbs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
43-yard line.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Sim Brown making the catch on the out route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Gibbs straight ahead. Just a yard on the pickup there to bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Another run for Gibbs here. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop 3, and it brings up third down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. If they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line.
That's another Detroit Lions first down. First and 10 at the 34.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side, so now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that's because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple here to the 49.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Jackson going to keep it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
To throw is Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Walker. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that very soon. They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
And Jackson throwing once more. A dump off to the flat for Perkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman from 17 yards out. And the Ravens are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Extra point splits the uprights. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And the defense closes quickly there. And they'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try to keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Brings up third.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Throw left side taken in by Palmer. And he's going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
1-yard gain.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
At their 48-yard line.
They'll go again with Gibbs. And he is going to lose yardage here. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Again to Bryant, and again it's caught. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And this will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
Any old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. Patterson's kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he'll be out right at the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Out of the pistol, Perkins. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that flag obviously takes away the good yardage that they had on the play.
And talk about a momentum shift, because we can visibly see this celebration shifting from one side of the field to the other as soon as everyone saw the flag.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll make it second down.
Brings up second down at the 36-yard line.
They'll give up the middle to Perkins. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
That's good.
42 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Jackson now. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 35.
That's another Baltimore first down. A gain of 21 yards. First down, Ravens.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. Over the middle, complete. It's Perkins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. From the gun, Jackson. Throw left side, complete. That's Perkins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. Oh, good return up past the 30. A very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Off the play fake. McCord. That is intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he returns it into enemy territory down the 45-yard line. My, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I've just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, You better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Now Lamar changing the play. Inside handoff, Perkins. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
A 3-yard gain on the play brings up third down.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is third down. Now Jackson. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going. And I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now 2nd down and a few inches. Looking to throw. McCord. St. Brown on the catch. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And the Lions first down.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's 1st and 10 now. Back to throw. McCord. Bryant has it. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And some room to work. Still on his feet. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line.
This game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Gibbs is in for a Lions touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here. And we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did get in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. This is 1st and 10.
Hey, report. How's it on?
Jackson. And Walker has it. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
13.
Here's Jackson. That's to the sideline and incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost also surprised when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Jackson to throw. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
One last shot for Jackson. Connecting with Andrews. So they'll quickly now signal for the timeout. And it's definitely not looking good, but at least they'll have one final play to hope for that miracle and get him in the end zone. Here's 1st and 10.
First down, Baltimore.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Jackson, and he can't get rid of it, and it's taken down. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Lions, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move.